Yes, it is. It's time to get in the ring with DJ D Kooks and Beast Mike. Like the way
It is.
week.
It is. It's a very calm week in the IWC. I think it's fair to say. Not too much happened crazy. Shout out. Let's get it out of the way.
There was the crazy Attitude Era discussion that happened on Twitter this week, but saying that the Attitude Era sucked, which it did, but that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, didn't somebody try to be some Attitude Era dream match, tag match of Brothers Destruction versus Rock and Austin, and then current tag team dream match of Mustache Mountain DIY type of flow?
Yeah,
Somebody tried to do that. Somebody tried to do that. It's there's just the problem with that is it's just two different eras. It's two. Yeah, they can both be great in their respective eras. They don't need to be compared to each other.
Oh God, it just
right. They don't need to be
blood.
I think people in that NBC try way too hard. I think that's the unfortunate moral of the story here.
Yes, we all
know.
All
right, so where do you want to go?
Let's start with Smack.
So where do you want to go first?
Let's start with Smackdown. The show I did not watch. I actually watched Raw this week, and I watched NXT, and I actually have thoughts. And I actually have thoughts on Raw, and I actually have thoughts on Dynamite. So let's start with the show I don't have thoughts on.
All right, let's start with it's chronological order anyway. So last week's SmackDown kicked off with I was just loading everything up here. Last week's SmackDown started with Daniel Bryan and Kane coming together to catch the Fiend. It's what?
In memory of Rocky Johnson, first off.
Right, they did the tribute for him later on, like halfway through the show. But yes, it is obviously they dedicated the show to Soul Man Rocky Johnson, who passed away last week. I think we did talk about it last week, definitely. So Kane came out to start the show. Kind of talked about how the Royal Rumble was his favorite moment, his favorite event of the year. Obviously, Kane is a Royal Rumble legend, where I think his greatest performance was a one Royal Rumble, where he was incredibly dominant and got to the final two with Austin. Kane also holding the most appearances in a Rumble and the most eliminations all time in Royal Rumble history. So he announced that he would be in the Rumble match, and then Bray Wyatt came from the Firefly Funhouse to kind of talk about Kane and how they crossed paths. It looked like the Fiend was going to come and dispose of Kane yet again, but fortunately for Kane, he had a backup plan in mind. It's his former Team Hell Nobody, Daniel Bryan, who hit the Fiend with a knee to the face and proceeded to pull out some of the dreadlocks that the Fiend had on his head. This led to a strap match challenge between Daniel Bryan and the Fiend for the Royal Rumble. So that's what their match is going to be.
God, I fucking hate strap matches because it totally limits people. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bad match. Fuck strap matches.
Like bull rope matches I at least get, but yeah, strap matches.
At least with a fucking chain match, you can fucking bloody each other.
Right. I guess obviously that they're still kind of stuck in that PG mold. I guess this is what they're working with. Okay, so the first actual match of the evening was John Morrison versus Big E, and Morrison and Big E looked pretty good together. It was pretty productive. It's clearly advancing the story of Miz and Morrison versus E and Kofi, and I'm here for it. I'm here for Miz and Morrison becoming a team again. I'm here for I'm looking forward to seeing the dirt sheet being a thing again. If you haven't seen the dirt sheet, go seek it out on YouTube. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yes, it was a glorious, glorious time.
Absolutely seek
Some
it out.
Some of the jokes may not age well.
No, yeah, right. That's true. But for what it was, for the 14 months they did it, it was gold. Absolute gold that Miz and Morrison did on WWE.com, which now pretty much all the episodes should be on YouTube, I would think. But it was absolute gold. Morrison got it done with a little bit of help from The Miz and a Starship Pain at the end of the match. by Morrison to Big E to get it done. So it seems pretty
SmackDown Tag
obvious.
Division, New Day, Miz Morrison, Usos,
Yes,
Revival.
yes,
Holy
yes,
fuck!
yes. SmackDown's tag division is popping. You got those 4 heavyweight teams. The SmackDown tag division is popping in WWE. I am here for this. On SmackDown, I am totally here for this. It's gonna be an excellent tag team year for SmackDown. Beautiful time. Speaking of the Usos and Revival, they put on a solid match as well. Right, that was the following match. So as the Revival continues to struggle lately, and the Usos continue to build momentum since their return, and the Usos get it done with the splash, they would pin Wilder to get the job done here. But a good match as Usos and Revival continue to do their thing. Again, those 4 teams going to be in the tag team race this year. I'm here for it. Let's go. Okay, we got Lacey Evans and Bayley. Lacey got the drop on Bayley and Sasha. She attacked Sasha, taking her out of the equation. It was supposed to actually be Lacey versus Sasha, but Sasha got jumped, and Lacey pretty much took them both on. This turned into Bayley versus Lacey because Bayley was talking too much to the trainers and whatnot, and Bayley would actually get beat. Lacey Evans dropped her with a woman's right and finished the deal. So the match that we expected to see happen will go down to the Royal Rumble. Bayley versus Lacey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It served its purpose. That's the point of the match here. So Strowman demanded the WrestleMania match. Elias came out to basically rub salt in whatever wounds he was trying to rub salt in. Clearly, Elias is a face right now. Shinsuke, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro will come out to interrupt Elias. Strowman came out to make the save as they tried to go 3-on-1 on Elias here, and then Strowman made the save. It's clear that we're probably getting towards an IC match between Braun and Shinsuke at the Rumble. We'll see if they actually make it happen, but it looks like we're going to probably find out more of this tomorrow. Alexa versus Sonya Deville. Now, this was probably led
We got
to
the Rocky Johnson video package beforehand.
Yeah, we got the Rocky Johnson video package. Obviously, that mentioned before. They honored him. They pretty much dedicated the show to Soul Man Rocky Johnson. Again, rest in peace to the Soul Man, the Hall of Famer, Rocky Johnson. This probably led to the signature moment of the night, though. Alexa versus Sonya Deville. And Bliss was obviously accompanied by Nikki Cross, and Sonya was accompanied by Mandy. But Mandy suggested to Sonya, can we get Otis out here as well?
Oh.
Otis and Heavy
I
Machinery.
did see this.
Heavy Machinery. I mean, the signature moment turned into a gift. It's hard to miss it. So Heavy Machinery comes out of the ringside area just to support Sonya in her match with Little Miss Bliss. The culmination part of the match was Mandy trying to help her friend. Nikki Cross would try to help her friend. Nikki got kicked off the apron and actually pulled and kind of sort of shoved Mandy from the top rope all the way to the outside, where Otis would catch Mandy, and they would kind of lock eyes in what's become a hilarious gif since then. The distraction, unfortunately, worked in the favor of Little Miss Bliss, and she would get the roll-up pin on Sonya. So, unfortunately for Sonya, she got distracted by what happened, and then she got pinned by Alexa, so Bliss gets it done. It's interesting only for the sense of the gift that, and the gift that keeps on coming with Mandy and Otis. So that really was the major story here. And the signature deal was Roman Reigns and Robert Roode in what was a tables match, and the winner gets to pick the step for their match for Corbin and Reigns at the Royal Rumble. The match itself was all right. It served its purpose. All 6 people got involved. Corbin in his court, as in obviously Roode in the match, plus Dolph, plus Corbin, and the Usos helping out their cousin and Roman. This ended as you probably would expect. The Usos making the save, and then a spear through the table by Roman to Roode. Roman wins the match, and this turns into a false count anywhere match for Corbin and Reigns at the Rumble. So this was a mediocre SmackDown at best, quite honestly. The stuff that they kind of focus on their main things, but we'll get to the Royal Rumble this Sunday and more stuff that's going to happen tomorrow on SmackDown. So that's Friday Night SmackDown in a nutshell. And yep, let's go to Raw. And
This was a very good show. This was a very good show.
Raw did
Except for the closing angle.
its thing. Yes. Raw did its thing. Raw definitely did its thing. And yeah, we gotta talk about that closing angle at the very end. But okay. So
Of
this
course we do, because it leads to a match at the Royal Rumble. Fuck that shit.
Yep. So
I'm gonna have to sit through this at the pay-per-view.
People do not learn. People clearly do not learn. So we get to the opening of the show where Seth and his crew are out in the ring. They talk about how Buddy Murphy's joined them, and this turned into Joe and Kevin Owens, who were clearly upset about what went down last week, and they wanted to get even. But they had, obviously, it's 4-on-2. They need some help. In comes the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, and the brawl was on. All 8 men got involved. This turned into some mass chaos. Set it up for pretty good stuff later on in the evening, where Rollins and Buddy were challenged for the tag titles against the Viking Raiders. Very good ladder match was the next part of the deal between Andrade versus Rey. These two wrestling, however it is they do, always seems to get it done in different ways. Ambitious, yes. At times, they probably go as harder than they needed to, probably.
For a free TV match, this was fucking perfect.
But we're perfectly cool. It's a free TV match, yeah. Or streaming match, however you watch Raw, yeah. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna complain. I got no regrets. We're perfectly fine with it.
But they need to do the picture-in-picture thing for Raw. They need to.
Yeah, it's great.
The 6 minutes of commercials really hurt the flow of this match.
For a ladder match, you need to do picture-in-picture. And that's one thing I like about what NXT does and what AEW does.
And
they do picture-in-picture and SmackDown does it too. They do picture-in-picture for a lot of their stats. So I'm perfectly cool with that. I'm looking at the...
that DDT, I thought Rey was dead.
Yeah, I thought
Rey was dead.
Damian Lewis actually
killed Rey Mysterio.
Damian Lewis actually walking into the Blazers game later tonight with a Dame 316 little dog. You don't remember those Ultimate Warrior dolls or Hogan dolls or Macho Man dolls? They were like big and overblown.
Speaking of those Hogan wrestling buddies, I want to give a shout out to Mikey Falcone, who lost everything in a fire. Concha Hawken, including his Hogan wrestling buddy and a bunch of his wrestling collection.
Dang.
So whatever we can do to help out Mikey, let us know.
Yeah, that's really.
Concha Hawken too.
Mm-hmm. Now, Concha Hawken, for those who don't know, it's a suburb of Philadelphia. It's not too far outside of the city. For those who don't know.
That's far from me, Bryn Mawr.
Yeah, that's not too far away from the city of Philadelphia. It's an easy train ride into Philly. For those who don't know where Concha Hawken is, it's a little bit north of the city. So, getting back to it, Andrade.
If you ever seen the spelling of it, you'll get tongue twisted.
Yeah, sure will. Yeah, no doubt. People call it Conchi for short. So, but it's a very. It can be challenging to spell, very much so. Rey and Andrade, very good match. It was a very good match. Digging it, all for it. I wish it main evented the show, but alas, it did not. Andrade gets it done. Probably to close out this rivalry with Andrade and Rey. It looked like Andrade was going to really finish the job with the DDT on the concrete, but instead Humberto Carrillo comes out, and Humberto makes the save just as Ricochet made the save for Humberto not too long ago. And I think it's perfect. To me, like I said before, Andrade was the right person to beat Rey. I think Humberto's the right person to beat Andrade. I'm here for Andrade versus Humberto matches. They had a really good one at TLC. Let's run it back. I'm here for it. Let's go. Alistair,
we got the yearly MLK tribute video.
Yep.
The yearly Vince McMahon token black guy. Vince is good to black people video.
Vince put the tweet out earlier in the day. It was like my idol, my hero, but somebody easily ran away with on Social Suplex Network. But but yeah, 100%. No, that totally happened. And so all this is true. All this is true, by the way. Shout out to Social Suplex Network. Everyone's doing their thing. But Alistair disposed of a local competition. Alistair's another one that needs to be in the U.S. title picture. But let's let the Andrade and Humberto stuff happen first. So let's keep that moving. Also, obviously, will be in the Rumble, I'm sure. Ricochet stood up to Brock Lesnar. Ricochet was promptly kicked in the gut by Brock Lesnar and was left laying in the ring. Obviously, Lesnar will be in the Rumble. Ricochet will be too, as we get closer to Lesnar's going to become the number one entrant in this Rumble match.
Oh, he's going to.
We'll see how well this does.
Will he break?
Perhaps the Ricochet match is standing to him.
Will he break Roman Reigns' record?
Well, Brock?
Yeah.
All right, so Roman's record is 13.
Braun's is 13.
Yeah, that's right. Braun in the greatest Royal Rumble ever, yes, was 13.
Yeah, in a January Rumble, Roman has 12.
That's the one in Pittsburgh. So that's the record for a Royal Rumble.
January Rumble.
I'm
not considering the greatest Royal Rumble because
no, that's what I'm saying.
Fuck redacted.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's the true Royal Rumble record is Roman's with 12. That's 100% true, and that's the one I would truly consider. In theory, you'd just have Brock or Strowman or somebody have a record, just set the record to 14 so we can kill all this noise. But we'll see how far they go with that. Do I think Brock breaks it? I'm gonna actually say yes.
I'm gonna
say there's enough.
I'm gonna put the over under at 9.
I'm taking the over, definitely.
I'm taking the over too.
I'm taking double digits. Okay, 2 questions. Who would you want to see number 2, and who would you want to see eliminate Brock?
Who would I want to see at number 2? Of who's announced? Fucking Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ooh, Brock versus Shinsuke. That would be good.
That's happened before.
Yeah, it happened in New Japan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Or Brock Alistair.
That would also be good. Honestly, I want to see Keith Lee at number 2.
Oh, fuck yes!
Give me Keith Lee at 2. I know. We'll get to NXT, and he's had a big week. Like Keith Lee would be good. Dijakovic would be good. Let's see who else. Even the Damian Priest wouldn't be too bad. But to me, yeah, give me Keith Lee at number 2.
We have 25 spots filled, so.
Yeah, so start with I say start with a pop. I say start with a bang. To me, I think Keith Lee would be a huge bang and a huge jolt for the crowd in Houston. I think that would be a huge deal if it were Keith. And the guy I want to see not only eliminate Brock, but win the Rumble itself is Drew McIntyre.
I don't think Drew McIntyre has a chance at winning the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very wide open this year.
I do too. I legit think it's a incredibly open Rumble because there's enough time to put together for whatever show doesn't have the winner can build a WrestleMania main event with enough time to spare. You got the Chamber, you got Fastlane.
Let's see what the Royal Rumble odds are. Reigns is a favorite at -350. Lesnar's plus 200. McIntyre's plus 450. Cain Velasquez is in.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
CM Punk's plus 600. Edge.
Yeah, I've heard rumors about the both of them actually returning.
I would hate both of them. Edge less, but I don't want to see CM Punk wrestle. I don't.
I think it's better that they don't. Yeah, I think it's better that they both fought.
I would love to see Kevin Owens fucking win.
Owens, I think, was the general thought before everything happened with this with Rollins and the Messiah stuff. I think going into the year 2020, it looked like it was going to be Kevin Owens just to lose. But I think
it's not.
He's in this situation, it's probably not. Like ideally,
McIntyre Orton
the Rumble. To me, it would have been Owens and Rumble, Owens in the Rumble with Lesnar for the title, but it just didn't go this route. Let's see. Yeah, Cain Velasquez, Punk and Edge. Kevin Owens is 9-1. Bray Wyatt's 15-1. Bill Bryan 18-1. Finn 18. Keith Lee 18. Alistair 23. Strowman 25.
I would love Keith Lee to win this fucking thing.
Keith Lee is nuclear. He's probably the hottest dude right now in the company in terms of just momentum and stock. Keith Lee.
Shayna Baszler is the favorite
in the Women's Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah, in the women's Raw, I see that. Shayna's 1-3, which would make sense because it kind of teased the Shayna and Becky stuff going into Survivor Series. That would make sense. Shayna, I think, has done all she needs to do in NXT.
Let's talk about this when we're previewing the Rumble.
Yeah. Sure. Let's get back to Raw. Let's get back to Raw. Drew versus Randy, I thought was a good match. Quality stuff between the two of them. A little bit of a disqualification. McIntyre technically gets the DQ win, but ultimately this was a good match. AJ and the LC kind of got involved to break it up and did not have a real conclusive winner. But this was a good match. We got an RKO from Randy and respect from Randy to Drew as the segment closed. But these are two guys that are obviously going to be big players in the Rumble this Sunday in Houston. Obviously AJ as well. Becky and Kairi Sane, pretty much another attempt for, obviously Lynch beat Sane to make her tap out with the disarmer. However, this was another attempt for Asuka to get the drop on Becky, and Asuka succeeded, as it's clear that Asuka's in Becky's head. We'll see what happens at the Rumble between Asuka and Becky, as really Asuka is the last elite woman left for Becky to beat in terms of this Kill Bill kind of story that Becky's been rolling with. Next up, we got the.
I'm very happy with this result.
Of Viking Raiders versus Viking Raiders versus Seth and Buddy, and this was a good match. This was a very good match.
Very good.
So the four of them really put it down very, very impressively well. Seth and Buddy win the tag titles thanks to Rollins getting the stomp on, I believe he stomped Eric. Yeah, he stomped Eric, and then Buddy got the pin, so that the two of them win the tag titles. My one problem with this is that you have an actual tag team in AOP.
I don't want AOP anywhere near those titles.
I disagree. I'm a fan of AOP. I think AOP should be.
But AOP sort of stinks.
They are kind of shielding AOP as like the muscle of the crew, and then let Seth and Buddy kind of dominate and do their thing. I get why you're doing this, because it's a heel group, and you have your two singles titles on Raw. It gives Steph
something to do, so.
and you have your two singles titles on Raw tied up with other heels.
Yeah.
Where Seth being near the WWE title and going after Brock again, I think is way too soon. So the only way Seth goes after the WWE title is when a face person beats Brock. And then you have the US title with Andrade. So, yeah, that's another heel. So you can't have Buddy go after the US title. So I think Raw's hands are kind of tied in that sense. Okay,
and
what's
then
the one
Street
by
Profits do a weekend update gimmick. Fuck the SNL dudes. Fuck the SNL dudes. I don't want them to come in.
I did think it was funny. Because the Street Profits are great.
It wasn't funny.
I find the Street Profits very entertaining.
Comedy.
I find them entertaining. I do find the Street Profits entertaining. So, and I think the Street Profits would be the ideal team to beat them. I think they'd be the ideal team to beat Seth and Buddy. So, okay, you give the Street Profits something to chase for, because you really weren't going to have them chase too much out of the Viking Raiders. So I'm perfectly okay with them going after Seth and Buddy. I think that'll work perfectly fine. Eventually, there's a big payoff where the Street Profits win the titles, and then you go from there. So you give the Street Profits something to do, because it seems clear to me that they're the best face team on Raw. So you got something there. So that's going to be fine. Eric Rowan disposed of Matt Hardy very effectively and efficiently.
But this means the return of Colin Yost and Che. I don't.
Yeah, no. That part I agree with. Those two don't need to be around.
They don't need to be fucking.
No, I'm cool. I agree with that. That's 100% true. But if the Street Profits doing whatever Street Profits do, I find funny.
Then the bullshit of bullshit. Rusev.
So let's set the scene here. We've had a really good Raw so far. We've had.
And then they decided the main event with this shit. Come on now.
We had a really good match to start. We had a really good tag match. We had a really good third main event with Drew and Randy. And then we get this. We get the story, basically the one story that nobody wants as the main event. As that's the last match before the go home.
I would have left.
The go home Raw before the Rumble.
I would have left. I would have left.
No, this was And it wasn't even good. Not even the Rusev Lashley stuff, which you've seen 100 times by now. No. Nothing about this was good. No.
Left.
Why can't this story die? Rusev and like Lashley and Lana always seem to win. Just let this story die. They won already. Forget it. Let's move on. Let's let all four parties go to their respective Royal Rumbles and keep it pushing. This is really dumb. All of this is dumb.
Yes.
Let's get okay. Lashley, we get it. Lana and Lashley win. They won. They won this argument. They won the story here. Let's get it. Let's finish this and be done with it. We're good. We get the idea. If you want to have Rusev eliminate Lashley and have that as the last thing that happens, whatever. So be it. Do nothing with these four going forward. We are perfectly cool. Let them go on their separate ways. Let Lana manage Lashley and go on with their careers. Let Rusev do his thing. Let Liv Morgan do her thing. Keep it moving. That's what I'm saying here. All right, so that was Raw. And then you want to do AEW?
Let's do AEW.
All right.
This was an excellent show because they took out all the shit I didn't like.
So AEW, for the most part, has received pretty good reviews lately. It's been quality stuff. Has been quality wrestling. As the commentary's been solid, the crowds have been hot. Everything about it's been generally
except
good.
for the Nightmare Collective and the Dark Order.
Those have been the two major weaknesses from all parties involved. Pretty much either of those two entities, and neither made the Jericho Cruise.
Did they find Mel and she was so bad.
Neither made the Jericho Cruise, and I think most parties were generally cool with it.
Yeah, I was very cool with it. Paige's intro graphic said, "Was hoping this would be a booze cruise." I cracked up at that.
that was kind of funny. So we started the show with the tag team title match that Kenny Omega and Hangman Page earned the previous week by winning the Fatal 4-Way tag. So they fight SCU for the tag titles. Good match. This was a very quality match to start the show. I like the way they did it. The crowd was ready to go with it. The action itself was pretty fast paced. I think it was a very solid match to start with.
Yeah, this is going on my spreadsheet.
So very good stuff to start with, and the winner was Hangman and Kenny. They would get a title with the buckshot lariat to get it done, and that was it. The buckshot lariat to Kazarian to get the win and the titles. This was good stuff, and the promo after was also good, where the Bucks came in to celebrate with their one of their fellow elite members. Obviously, Hangman left the group, but they came in to celebrate. And Hangman with a nice dig at the end, saying like, "It's amazing we got to these titles before you guys did." By you guys, obviously meaning the Bucks. So this was
Britt Baker. She's a dentist. Did you know?
Oh, did you know Britt Baker was a dentist?
Could you not tell by the entrance video or the robe that she wears to the ring? Yeah, it's Britt got it. Never mind Britt beating Priscilla Kelly. We knew that was going to happen. We established that. But the scathing promo she put on Shivani, though.
Tony was like, "What the fuck?"
Nobody was ready
to tear into my barista-ness.
Nobody was ready for that.
I wasn't ready for that.
No one was ready for that.
After that.
Why did she bury him like that? That was that was cool. I don't even rock with Starbucks like that, but I feel bad for Starbucks baristas after that. Like that was cold.
And then she's like, being a role model is a full-time job. Fuck you.
Yeah, really.
And like for Baker, there's probably like 10 hotter girls on that boat.
That was so. At least probably 10. Factual. That's probably factual. We're not saying that Britt's unattractive or anything, but that's really pretentious of you to do that, to go that route. Like, yo, man, I really do feel bad for Starbucks baristas now. And they got good cookies too. Anyway, anyway, we go to the Inner Circle versus Jurassic Express was the next match. This was also very fun. Jericho, this good stuff between Lucha, the Jurassic Express and Jericho, really, but obviously including Santana and Ortiz, who are a really good team in their own right as well. This was a good match. All in all, Jericho gets it done. Jericho's crew gets it done with the Judas effect after, so there's a Judas effect there. And Marco Stunt gets the pin.
Attempts on the champion, which no one in their right mind believed because he's Marco fucking Stunt.
Yep. So it's Jericho who gets the pin on his crews and gets it done. So Jericho gets this is a solid match. A very good fun match. I would love to see Luchasaurus fight Jericho 1-on-1, but this was
Hager.
Hager, Hager too. But this was fun. This was a good match.
MJF versus Joey Janela.
MJF continuing to spit heat on the microphone before the match, and then a solid match with Janela, which leads to Janela's ex-girlfriend making out on the stage, and MJF getting it done with the obviously Kip Sabian and Penelope Frost provided the distraction.
Penelope Ford.
Oh, Penelope Ford, Penelope Ford. With the distraction, and then MJF capitalized with the double cross to get the pinfall win. So that's how MJF gets the win here. But it's after the match where this continues to provide more stuff. MJF picks up the mic, does his thing, and he obviously spits more heat at Cody with a Wardlow not on the cruise. Cody obviously accepted the terms to how this was going to go down before the Revolution match. Cody clearly couldn't touch him. But unfortunately for MJF, Cody had a plan. And Cody's plan was to involve his friends in the Young Bucks. Both Bucks would super kick MJF and then send MJF into the swimming pool where it was obvious that MJF could not swim. So a good segment where Cody got a little bit of revenge against the Bucks. As it seems obvious, MJF is going to get the drop on Cody pretty much from here on in until the pay-per-view. It would seem. I think this is a good way to do it.
And then we interview segment with Kenny and Adam Page, which you talked about.
Right. And then we got to the main event scene of Pac.
We have next week's show: Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz versus Darby Allin and Private Party. Young Bucks versus Butcher and the Blade. That's going to be good. And Cody versus Kip Sabian.
That should be interesting. Yeah, I know the Butcher Blade versus the Bucks. It's going to be a pretty good match. But then we got the main event. The winner gets a shot at Jericho at Revolution. Mox versus Pac. Jericho obviously is at the commentary table, as he should have been, because let's face it, it absolutely involved him. It was a solid match, but ultimately it was Mox that gets it done with the paradigm shift, but a very good match all the way through. Obviously, we got some stuff with the eye, and Pac ripping out the bandage and attacking the eye, but ultimately it's the toughness of Mox that gets the job done, and Moxley gets the pin, goes on to Revolution and fight Jericho, one eye or two eyes, for the AEW Championship.
And Jericho's still down, and during Jericho's entrance, they all sang Judas,
which I thought was awesome. I think that's rather very awesome. So a good AEW. This was a very productive AEW. I probably would say it was a little bit better than NXT this week. I did like some stuff in NXT, but I think AEW is just a more solid show. I will say.
Yeah, because I thought the first hour of NXT was like nothing until like the Bruiserweights and Keith Lee versus Roddy.
Now, I did like the matches that NXT did. I did like what they did. It just didn't have the energy and the flow that AEW did. I mean, I get it. AEW had a special show.
It's hard. It's hard to have that energy.
Right. On a consistent weekly basis. Like the last 2 weeks, I would say NXT was definitely better. Like since we got like the New Year's tributes out the way, like the first real shows of the year. This was the third one. This was I would say the third one for each show. This right now I would say starting the year off of real shows. I would say it's 2-1 NXT. But we'll start. But NXT started this week with GYVs versus
it's 3-0
Fish O'Reilly.
AEW in the ratings. Just saying. 3-0 AEW in the ratings. Just saying.
So we start NXT off this week with GYVs versus Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Obviously going on to the finals of the Dusty Cup. That's the prize here. And this was a productive match. Very productive match. It's also very good tag team wrestling between both heel teams. We didn't really see
Just never
shenanigans.
clicked into a high gear, which...
No, right. I think both these teams are good as supplementary pieces to kicking into high gear, but letting the faces kick into high gear. But neither team.
But they're both heel teams. That's
both heel
the
teams.
problem.
Yeah, so them being both heel teams doesn't really help in terms of kicking in the high gears for both. Like if either of them face Fabian and Marcel Bartel, Eichner and Bartel, I think absolutely Eichner and Bartel could kick it to a high gear.
Or
They're
Mustache
one of the few heel. They're one of the few heel teams that can actually do it. Right, DIY can do it. Mustache Mountain can do it. But Eichner and Bartel especially, and Andrews and Webster too. But Eichner and Bartel I think is one of the few heel teams in WWE that can actually kick it to a high gear.
Yeah. Eichner and Bartel are awesome. They're one of my favorite tag teams.
They absolutely are. They can definitely kick it to a high gear. Revival has shown they can do it, but they're better at supplementary pieces for high gear stuff. But Eichner and Bartel, I think, is one of the few heel teams that can actually kick it to a high gear. That's what I'm saying. But this match was good. This match was a good match here. And GYVs get it done with a little bit of a distraction from Imperium. You had to know Payback was coming after what Undisputed Era did at TakeOver Blackpool 2. They got the drop on Imperium after the Walter match. Imperium was a distraction. They didn't do anything physically, but they were a distraction visually for all four members of Undisputed Era. This allowed Drake and Gibson to drop the ticket to Mayhem. Or I believe they dropped it on O'Reilly to get the pin and get the pin and move on forward to the finals of the Dusty finals, the Dusty Cup. Io versus Tony was a productive match. I thought it was fine. My one problem, I wish it had a conclusive winner. I didn't like the finish. I wish it had a conclusive winner. I was okay with the interference of Bianca. I was okay with Bianca attacking Io and Tony, and really especially Tony. But I wish it happened after the match. I would have been cool with a conclusive winner, and then Bianca attack. Apparently, Io injured her knee in the match.
And they had to.
So they probably had to rush the finish on that. But I think had Io not gotten hurt, I wish it would have been Bianca making what pretty much everything that happened after the match had a conclusive ending. I wish that would have been the case. But I guess Io hurting herself kind of rushed everything and then wanted everything to play off, I guess, smoothly as humanly possible. Remember, Bianca is going to fight the NXT champion, whoever she is, at NXT Women's Champion at TakeOver Portland. Yeah. Let's see here. Finn Balor versus Joaquin Wilde. Really, Balor disposed of Joaquin Wilde fairly quickly. But Joaquin Wilde's time will come. I think this is just a way for Balor to get ready for his battle with Ivan Dragunov at Worlds Collide. That's really what this was. Baszler versus Blackheart. Not bad. A solid match. Blackheart really accounted for herself fairly well.
Yeah, there's much bigger things ahead of Shayna.
Sure does.
Oh,
like Wilder and Balor.
Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble.
like Wilder and Balor, this is more so, okay, Shayna doing her thing and setting herself up for bigger stuff, and Blackheart's going to have bigger stuff in NXT coming. So I think that's more or less this is what this was. And Blackheart obviously put up a really good fight against Shayna, but ultimately Shayna put her to sleep with a Carafluta clutch to get the submission win, and then ultimately put her to sleep afterwards.
Now we get a really good video package. I love this video package.
Yes.
Kai and Tegan Knox.
I like how they've been slow playing this rivalry pretty good. They've been slow playing it pretty good. I'm okay with this, and they're gonna finally throw down next week, and I'm okay with this. I like how they slow played this. So,
Cruiserweights and Imperium. This was fucking good.
Yes, it was. Remember when I said the Imperium's Eichner and Bartel could kick it to high gear? Well, they did, and they faced a team that also could kick it to high gear in Riddle and Pete Dunne. And this was good. This was legit. This was legitimately really good. So an awesome match. NXT's, I would say, their best, slightly over Lee and Roddy, but this was their best match of the evening, I would say.
3 3/4. 3 3/4, slightly under 4 stars.
That's fair.
Not a slight, but
we've seen better from the four of them, and it's I think it's a fair rating. But ultimately, it was this was good. This was again a quality match, and in the end, it was the Broserweights getting it done with the GTS knee dropkick combo to get the pin and move onward to the finals where they'll face GYVs. A hilarious promo cut by Matt Riddle afterward, and a pretty good lead up to the battle that's coming next week with the GYVs from NXT UK and Riddle and Dunn coming from NXT to see who wins the Dusty Cup. Main event of Keith Lee versus Roddy Strong. And this was a solid match. I like the way this was built. I like the way this played out.
This was very good, too.
This was a very good match. NXT definitely did end strong. I was a little surprised that we didn't get any interference from Ciampa or Gargano coming after Undisputed Era to kind of help Keith Lee, but apparently Keith Lee didn't need it. Keith Lee just didn't need it and proceeded to beat Roddy Strong and win the NXT North American Championship.
Bask in his glory.
Keith Lee gets it done, wins the NXT North American Championship. As we've been saying for the last few weeks, he's been pretty much the hottest person in NXT, not named Rhea Ripley, in terms of all the momentum that he's been building. And once again, he gets it done and wins the title. So props to Keith Lee for ending the prophecy, the 126-day prophecy that the Undisputed Era have had with all four members holding gold. So Keith Lee, Roddy becomes the first to lose their title of the four members of Undisputed Era, last to win.
Brawl after the show.
This led to a very good brawl between Undisputed Era and Imperium.
And then Cole took a fucking chop.
We'll set the scene for an awesome 4-on-4. And then the chop de la chop. And I love the way Nigel set it up, too. Say, here come the fireworks. And then Walter basically chops Adam Cole back in 2019. The chop de la chop. Jeez, that hurt. That had to hurt. Adam Cole sold it like a champ. It looked like it hurt. And I love how they built this up. So this is going to be a dope 4-on-4. I'm here for this 4-on-4 that's going to happen on Saturday for Worlds Collide coming in.
Worlds Collide's going to be pretty good.
Worlds Collide feels like
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide feels like a takeover. It feels like a takeover with all these good matches.
So we have a pre-show match. Because takeovers now have pre-show matches. Because they don't have the taped NXT anymore because they do NXT Live.
Right.
Kim versus Kaylee Ray.
Now this, I believe, is not for the title. So it's a non-title deal. But I think it's going to be a good match. I would have to think you're going to have Kaylee Ray win.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's 2, 4, 6 matches on the card. It's going to be 3-3. It's just a matter of how this is going to go.
First match. You gotta open with fucking DIY versus Mustache Round.
You're gonna open
40
with
minutes.
40
fucking minutes.
You're gonna open with your second hottest match, and I don't care. This screams.
We don't fucking care at this point, but
this screams match of the year quality. The four of them are gonna put out.
Holy fuck!
They're gonna put out.
I don't even care that Gargano and Ciampa should hate each other. This is a dream match, and we're gonna get it.
They did a little bit of a stare down. That was a WWE exclusive. They did a bit of a stare down before during NXT, where both teams shook hands, but the crowd was hot for the match. So this is gonna be a classic. This screams classic and potential second match of the year candidate for Tyler Bate. We say second because of what in the world he did with Jordan Devlin and Blackpool.
Speaking of Jordan Devlin, he is on this show for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
So we've
Jordan
got
Devlin,
Garza,
Travis Banks, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Angel Garza.
So Garza and Swerve from NXT, and Jordan and Travis from UK.
This should be a good four-way.
This should be a very good Fatal 4-Way, I would say. I think this is going to be a highly entertaining Fatal 4-Way. I think Angel retains, But this is going to be.
No, they should give the belt to fucking Devlin.
Yeah.
They should give the fucking belt to Devlin. That's my opinion.
After what Devlin and Bate did, they should both win their respective matches for their respective teams. But this, I think Angel retains. But yeah, you gotta put a title on.
You gotta put the fucking belt on Devlin.
You gotta put a title on Devlin. Oh, Devlin can have some classics in the 205 division. Oh, he can have some classics. He can have good battles with Leo Rush. He can have some good battles.
Yeah! Let's fucking go!
Ooh, bring a Devlin stateside? That would actually be gross. Oh, that would actually be gross.
What would be gross?
He would kill it with some dudes in 205.
Devlin Garza alone? Ooh.
Devlin Garza one-on-one would be good. I mean, there's a whole lot of potential with Devlin.
If Korea was still in the cruiserweight division?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck!
Ooh, that would actually be nice. Like that would see Devlin could kill it in this. He could kill it in 205 if he went to 205 full on. He could kill it with the 205 division.
Now since 205's with NXT, it's a possibility.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. No, there's a whole lot of possibilities that Devlin came stateside.
Finn Balor versus Ilya Dragunov.
So how I think
Balor's winning this because he's
Balor's gonna win, but
Gargano.
It's gonna be a very good match. Yeah, you're gonna keep Balor strong for Gargano. That's true. Which why the DIY is gonna win their match.
DIY is gonna fucking win, but who fucking cares?
Right.
You're getting DIY versus fucking Mustache Mountain.
Yeah. So I think that'll happen there. Balor versus Dragunov is gonna be hard hitting. They're going to hit each other as hard as they possibly can. But ultimately, I think it'll be Finn that gets it done. I agree there.
Rhea Ripley.
So it's gonna happen. They're gonna put it in the Toyota Center too. So we're gonna get a good crowd for this. I'm good with this. We're gonna get a good crowd for this. So that'll be dope. Oh, I'm good with that. That's gonna be nice. We're gonna get a real good crowd for this. So we got Rhea versus Tony for the NXT Women's Championship. I have to think that Rhea retains, and we get to Rhea versus Bianca in Portland. But I think this is going to be a solid match.
Tony Storm's ass would win.
Tony's becoming a heel, and I think that's okay. I'm okay with it if Tony became heel.
Yep.
I think Tony can play a good heel. I think she can play a very productive heel. So like whatever face on the NXT UK division, women's division, wins the title. I think that's the one problem. You really don't have, other than Piper Niven, who's the next best women's face? I think that's the problem that they're going to run into. But Tony absolutely has
because that UK women's division sucks.
It's not good. After Kaylee, Tony, and Piper, really not, and maybe I like Jazzy Gabbert going forward, but not much else is real. Like Nina Samuels is kind of all right.
I think she left.
Not Nina Samuels. I'm not thinking of Jenny. Jenny's alright.
Jenny sucks. I'm sorry. Jenny fucking sucks.
I kind of wish Dakota Kai stayed in the UK. I think Dakota would have been nice in the UK still and provided a little bit more life to that division. But there's really only 3 or 4. We're like the 3 we mentioned that did the triple threat in Blackpool.
They haven't really signed up in the UK.
Right. They really haven't put any because there really isn't much to put on. I think that's where they're
really signed B because B's in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
they need more. That's the one division that needs depth. I think with either NXT, because the women's division and the stateside NXT is pretty stacked. It's a real stacked division in the US side of NXT. But in the UK side of it, there's not much there. You got your 3 main pieces, and you maybe have. I think Gabbert has got some potential, but after those 4, there's not much there. They could use some stateside talent going overseas. I think that's honestly it's the way it should be.
Imperium versus Undisputed Era.
Who's the baddest crew of the 2 4-man crews in NXT? Who's the baddest of the 2?
I don't know who's going to win this match.
I don't either. Because I don't know how Undisputed Era deals with Walter, but the speed and the precision.
Or Wolf.
Or Wolf, yeah, Wolf size. I mean, they dealt with Wolf before, because I would say that they had the sanity stuff. But the size of Walter is going to be a lot for. And Imperium seems to, whenever Walter's involved in a match, he almost always wins. I go with Imperium. I think Imperium wins.
Imperium too.
I just don't know how to deal with Walter. I just don't know how to deal with him. As good as Undisputed Era has been over the last 2 years, I just don't know how to deal with Walter.
I think Undisputed Era swan song.
I think it's looking like the four of them are going to come. I think they're going to lose their Fish and O'Reilly. I think are going to lose their titles quickly, and then Cole loses his as well, and they probably get caught up after WrestleMania. I send all four of them to Raw immediately after WrestleMania, though.
Yeah.
I send all four of them to Raw and have them wreck shop in some way, shape, form, or fashion against somebody productive on Raw. But yeah, I think it's the beginning of the end of Undisputed Era in NXT. I can totally see that. And then so what? You have Ciampa win in Portland, or do you have Cole retain against Ciampa and then lose it to somebody else in Tampa Bay?
Who's somebody else? Who's the fucking Keith Lee in Tampa?
Oh, okay. So you have Keith Lee lose his title before then.
Oh, no, you have Keith Lee lose the fucking title and fucking shiprock him to fucking WrestleMania.
so you give Keith Lee a rocket ship too. Okay.
You give Keith Lee a fucking rocket ship.
See
how fucking open Keith Lee was at Survivor Series?
Keith Lee was so good. Yeah, he was so over at Survivor Series. And like I said earlier in this episode, I'd have Keith Lee come out number 2. I'd have Keith Lee be the first one to step to Brock. I really would. I think I don't know Brock will be able to do what he would do with it. To me, I'd have Lee face Dijakovic in Portland, and that rivalry once and for all with a conclusive winner. Have Dijakovic win the title, and then have Dijakovic run with the North American title. I'd probably have Ciampa lose to Cole, but Velveteen return to get Cole and win the title from him. And then Velveteen be the NXT champion. I think he could take it and run. As for the tag titles, probably put it on the Broserweights. Have the Broserweights win the Dusty Cup next week, and then have the Broserweights beat Fish and O'Reilly and win the tag titles. I think that would be the proper way to do it, because you have enough heel teams in NXT with the Forgotten Sons involved there as well.
Strap the fucking rocket to Keith Lee. You strap that fucking rocket.
But the call-ups to me are Lee and Undisputed Era. Those 5 come up after WrestleMania. Those are the WrestleMania call-ups to me. Dijakovic and Velveteen run with their respective titles. Either the Broserweights run with their respective titles, gives Riddle and Dunn something to do, and have those parties run with those titles. For that, but I probably put Lee on SmackDown.
Rumble. That would be funny as fuck.
I still think he's gonna get this work from DeAndre Wilder in February, but that would be something. If him or Cain Velasquez won and they did it for the clicks and all that, that would be kind of ridiculous. All right, so that's Worlds Collide in Houston on Saturday. We got Royal Rumble on Sunday. Royal Rumble 2020. And we got some matches here. We'll start with the
United
Andrade versus Yep, that match has been made official. All right, good. They are going to run it back. Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. They're going to run it back for the U.S. Championship. I think Andrade keeps the title, but I'd like to see Humberto actually win it. Humberto beat him a couple times in December. Once for TLC and then once the following night. I think Andrade gets his revenge and gets the pin here. So I think Andrade is going to keep it.
Okay. I don't care.
It's going to be a good match, though. I think it'll be a good match. Bayley versus Lacey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I think Bayley escapes, in part because Sasha helps her out. But I do think Bayley will escape, even though Lacey's got a bunch of momentum going into this match. Let's see here. We got Gable versus Sheamus. Sheamus, I think, will be strong. Sheamus will beat Gable. Well, I think it'll be a pretty solid match. Let's see here. We got Corbin versus Reigns. Falls Count Anywhere. I think Reigns gets his win back from TLC.
Reigns gets the win.
We got Becky versus Asuka for the Women's Championship on Raw. I have to think Becky wins.
Becky wins.
I have to think so. Now, there's two schools of thought to me with this strap match.
You
I think
abandon the theme, man. You abandon the theme.
because if Bryant wins, I think it sets up for Roman to fight him at WrestleMania, and then to get as many eyes on Fox as humanly possible. I think they're kind of burning out the Fiend and burning out the whole flow with him. I think
Which is a good thing. Yeah.
They're killing it off, which is a lot of people are very okay with. Which obviously with SmackDown with WrestleMania, they obviously try to build to a casual crowd and casual audiences. And you need mainstream people to do that. In order to do that, you need the Fiend. You probably need Daniel Bryan to be the champion. So I think that's the route they're going to go. I'm one of the few people that actually like the Fiend, but I think that's the route they're going to go is Bryan winning. Although I will say this, if it gets rid of the red lighting, okay, it gets rid of I can live with that. If this is how they have to end the red lighting, so be it. Then let's end the red lighting. Women's Royal Rumble match. I'm going to go Charlotte. I would love to see Sasha win, but I think it's tailor-made for Charlotte to win it.
I think it's going to be Shayna.
Okay.
I'm
that would also be good.
And then for the men's, I would love
for it to be Drew.
I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Keith fucking Lee. I don't fucking care. Keith Lee, they're strapping the damn rocket to him.
I would. I'd strap the rocket to Keith Lee. I completely understand. I'm going to go Drew McIntyre. I think it's McIntyre's time. I really think it's his time. I would love to see it one-on-one with him and Brock. I think that would be a really good one-on-one.
You need to strap the fucking rocket to Keith Lee.
Okay, so which champion do you have him go after? Do you have him go after Brock, or do you have to go after Fiend or Roman?
You have him go after fucking Brock. Keith Lee and Brock would have a fucking Dynamite match.
That would actually be really good. Because there's so much that if Brock was actually willing to do stuff, there'd be so much that Keith and Brock could actually do.
That would be so much fun.
That would actually be pretty fun. I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre. I think they're gonna go that route with Drew. I absolutely do call Keith Lee up. I think they'll put Keith in the U.S. title picture, or if he goes to SmackDown, the IC title picture right away, which I absolutely would do that. But I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre. I think McIntyre is ready to win this thing. I think he's ready to be WWE champion. I absolutely go that route and have Drew beat Brock to win the title at WrestleMania. So that's your look at the Royal Rumble weekend that is approaching as the WWE season, WrestleMania season, effectively begins on Saturday when Worlds Collide, but truly this Sunday in Houston at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, and Championship Sunday was last Sunday.
Beatdowns for both conferences. And really, Tennessee actually put up a decent fight for about a quarter. For a quarter and change. Tennessee actually got up 10-0 and even 17-7 after a while. But the power of Kansas City's offense is just way too much. Kansas City's offense is just way too good. Pat Mahomes did that incredible run to get in the end zone, really changed the proceedings. And after a while, Tennessee just couldn't keep up. The Titans just couldn't keep up with them. And it would turn into an easier win than it looked, I would say, for Kansas City. So the Chiefs get it done in the AFC. In the NFC, this was
Raheem
over.
Mostert.
Right, Raheem Mostert. This is basically, this is one of the few things that was probably over quicker than the Conor McGregor fight, but this was over really, really early.
Is that your NyQuil of the week?
It has to be. I mean, he did it in the 40 seconds. I think it has Conor's.
It sort of looked weak as shit, but
he really did. Oh, and there's a video on Twitter that Darren Ravel shared. Some dude lost stacks of money, plural, in Vegas. There's a video on Darren Ravel on YouTube. He lost that kind of money that fast for betting on Cowboy to beat Conor.
Why would anybody bet on Cowboy?
No, that was a really, really stupid decision. That was a really stupid move. And he lost a whole lot of money betting on Cowboy to beat Conor McGregor. He lost in 40 seconds flat. So this was a beatdown of quick proportions. So getting back to the NFC Championship game, that's one of the few things that was over quicker than the McGregor fight. The Packers just had no answers for the Niners. Raheem Mostert dominated.
Rodgers just looked like, I'm just going to throw
There's nothing he could have done. There was nothing. Rogers tried his hardest. He really did. But there was nothing he could have done. There was simply nothing there. It was just a savage beating. It was just a savage beatdown over on from the Niners to the Packers in every possible way. The Niners defensive line and linebackers got it in and beat up the Packers, whose offensive line, other than their excellent right tackle, really just couldn't get it done. It just couldn't move at all. Green Bay tried late, but ultimately it's just way too late. So the Niners get it done. So we're looking at the best offense versus the best defense going to the Super Bowl and matching up. Either way, one coach is going to be successful in kind of avenging the failure that he had in the for Super Bowls past. Will it be Andy Reid, who could be avenging the failure that he had in Super Bowl 35 or 39,
28-3,
or Kyle Shanahan, who's effectively the architect of 28-3 being the meme that it has been today? One of these two teams is going to fail. One of these two teams is going to succeed and winning the Super Bowl for the first time in either 25 years or 50 years. That's what we're dealing with in Miami.
Whoa, 2020. They're testing on 2 new rules at the Pro Bowl.
I did notice that, where one new rule is going to be that kind of to eliminate onside kicks and the massive unlikelihood of people actually converting them, there's going to be a 4th and 15 rule at the 25-yard, at your 25-yard.
I like that rule. I like that rule a lot.
That's creative. I think it'll lead to more interesting It will lead to some exciting football. I can live with this being a thing because the onside kicks are so hard to actually convert, and it's become much harder to do so over the last few years.
And
so
this one, I can skill to do it.
Yeah, I can actually dig this one. This one I can keep. I can keep the other one with the whole legal formation thing. That actually wouldn't be too bad either. But this one I like. This one I honestly like. Or you can take a real risk and go 4th and 15 at the 25. And this rule becomes a thing. Watch somebody do something really, really stupid. They do it at a really, really dumb time and convert and then like it's incomplete and cost somebody a game or something. I can totally see that being a thing.
So the replacement players for the Pro Bowl: Ryan Tannehill for the AFC.
Yep.
Cortland Sutton, DJ Chark, Orlando Brown. So Ravens got another one.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
That's 13 for the Ravens.
Let me see if the Ravens.
Ravens
got 13. Lane Johnson got added.
He didn't have that great of He was hurt a lot too. I don't know if I like that. I don't like the Devontae Parker got passed up either.
Rick Lovato got selected.
Hmm.
The long snapper for the Eagles. Eagles had 1. Fletcher Cox.
Who, until December, I don't think really was worthy of the Pro Bowl, but he got in. Ertz was fine.
Kelsey
was
Brooks.
fine. He was fine. Brooks had an All-Pro year. Kelsey had an All-Pro year. I think both were absolutely warranted. Ertz was warranted.
We have 5 Pro Bowl players.
Other than Cox, I'm not going to argue them. I don't think Fletcher should have got in, but the other 4 I think were perfectly fine.
I think he got in based on reputation.
Yeah, that's exactly why he got in. Miami didn't get any, and pretty much didn't deserve any. But I would have absolutely put Devontae Parker in. He was 4th in the league in receiving, and absolutely killed it this year. I think Parker absolutely should have got in, and was snubbed.
Right. And 20.
But ultimately, so the Pro Bowl is going to happen this Sunday, per usual. The Pro Bowl and the NHL All-Star Game happening on the weekend that the Super Bowl does not happen. But most of us probably won't watch it anyway because of the Royal Rumble being Sunday night. So
or the Grammys.
Or a lot of people are going to watch the Grammys as well. So yeah, so basically they're going to
I'm not watching the Grammys.
No,
Let's see what's going on in the Grammys, actually. I'm actually gonna probably watch the Grammys on like my small screen and then watch the Royal Rumble on a big screen. The performers are gonna be Aerosmith and Run DMC.
That'd actually be pretty good.
They're gonna do a Nipsey Hussle tribute
Which I think is fine.
with DJ Khaled, Kirk Franklin, John Legend, Meek Mill, Roddy Ricch, and YG.
Mm-hmm.
Camila Cabello, Billie Eilish, Lil Nas X, Billy Ray Cyrus, BTS, and Diplo. That's a weird combination. Ariana Grande, her, Jonas Brothers, Lizzo, Demi Lovato, Ben Platt, Bonnie Raitt. It's a tribute to John Prine, who is a folk singer. Rosalia, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, Tanya Tucker and Brandy Carlisle, Tyler the Creator, and Charlie Wilson.
Love me some Charlie Wilson. Okay. Love me some Uncle Charlie.
So
I'd be interested with Tyler the Creator though, but love me some Uncle Charlie. I'm cool with that.
Charlie Wilson's performing on his own.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's even better. Again, love me some Uncle Charlie.
Soul Train, right?
Oh, Charlie Wilson? Yeah, like he's kind of he's an R&B singer. Charlie
He's an R&B singer.
Yeah. Like if you ever heard the song Charlie Last Name Wilson, that's him. And
Really? Uncle Charlie. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we a lot of people like who listen to the R&B and rap music, we would call him Uncle Charlie for short. But he's
I clicked on his Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Aerosmith and Run DMC, even though Aerosmith just kicked out Joey Kramer.
Okay.
Their drummer.
And that's something you'd probably cover on your Hard and Heavy show.
Yeah. Hopefully they do something. At least mention Neil Peart. Since he recently passed away.
Did it pass away like last week?
Yeah, that was last week, January 7th. Okay. 2 weeks ago. It wasn't announced till the 10th.
I've been looking forward to the Nipsey Hussle tribute. I'm looking for the Nipsey. That was felt in the hip hop community. That was a big deal.
That was a big loss.
That was a huge loss in the hip hop community because Nipsey was really one of the best rappers out. But when he was unfortunately gunned down in LA, but he was one of the best rappers out. He was doing big things in the hip hop community. So that was a huge deal.
So multiple nominations. Lizzo has 8.
Yeah, Lizzo's gonna win a few.
Billie Eilish has 6. Lil Nas X has 6.
Oh yeah, with the hotel room song, yeah.
With the Old Town Road song.
Old Town Road, yeah.
I'll go down the nominees because we're fucking previewing the Grammys on here. I didn't think this would go here, but we are previewing the Grammys. Record of the Year. Hey Ma, Bon Iver. He's an indie artist.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Guy, Billie Eilish. You've heard of that a million times.
Yep.
I'm a bad guy. Duh. 7 Rings, Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Place, Her. Talk, Khalid. Can we just talk? Old Town Road. By who. Truth Hurts by Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Sunflower by Post Malone featuring Sway Lee. Album of the Year, I by Bon Iver.
Mm-hmm.
Lana Del Rey, Norman fucking Rockwell. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Billie Eilish. Thank You Next, Ariana Grande. I Used to Know Her. 7 Lil Nas X, which is technically an EP.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I Love You, Lizzo. Father of the Bride, Vampire Weekend, which is our indie rock album. Song of the Year, Always Remember Us This Way, Lady Gaga. Bad Guy, Billie Eilish. Bring Us Flowers Now, Tanya Tucker. Hard Place, Her. Lover, Taylor Swift. Norman fucking Rockwell. Lana Del Rey. Someone You Loved, Louis Capaldi. And Truth Hurts, Lizzo. Best New Artist, Black Pumas. Billie Eilish, Lil Nas X, Lizzo, Maggie Rogers, Rosalia, Tank and the Bangas, and Yola. And then there's a bunch of like John.
But that's really the signature awards.
Those are the signature awards, yeah. The general categories.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
That's the signature award. So, yeah, I think that's the things I'd be most looking forward to, and I'll try to tune in for are
Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Yeah, DMC and Aerosmith. I'm gonna try to catch. I do like me some Run DMC.
They're gonna do Walk This Way.
I expect it. I'm almost counting them to do Walk This Way. I'm almost counting on that.
Yeah.
That song is a classic. On both genres, that song is a classic.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm be looking forward to that, and then obviously the tribute to Nipsey and the Charlie Wilson performance. And those are the other ones I'd be looking forward to watching.
We talked about the Astros last week. The punishments were handed down.
So the punishments were that they got fined some money, whatever. They lost their first couple draft picks, plus the suspensions for their manager, or their former manager now, AJ Hinch, and their GM. Both got suspended a year, but they were both promptly fired by the Astros.
Did you see the
the shade of the Astros authority and everyone?
Where he just roasted everybody?
Yeah, like it's the Astros are playing this, and the Astros playing it off like whatever, nothing happened, and how much shade they're throwing at everybody else for doing whatever it is they're doing. Like Jose Altuve throwing so much shade at the media for bringing it up, and he's like, whatever, we're gonna be in the World Series next year anyway. Oh, the Astros got a whole lot of stuff they got to back up, or they're going to hear it from everyone. I'm looking forward to when the Astros go to Yankee Stadium. They're going to, and New York fans are very creative. I'm counting on the Yankee fans to do their worst, to say their worst to Houston.
Oh.
I think they're the one fan base that's going to get at it, because let's face it, the Red Sox might have done some shady stuff too to get to the World Series in 2018, so what can Boston really say? But it's the Yankees. The Yankees and the Dodgers were the two most affected here. So I'm looking forward.
Beat them.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Nats beat them, right? So it's the Yankees and the Dodgers. They were the two most affected. And so I want to see if and when Houston goes to LA, and obviously when the Yankees host the Astros in Yankee Stadium, what kind of stuff are these people going to say? Oh, and Dodgers, you're not LA. You're not out of this either, because that was really petty of y'all to try to say, oh, we should get the champion. We should get the two titles after what the Red Sox and the Astros allegedly did. No, you shouldn't. LA, you absolutely shouldn't get the 2017 title. You lost Game 7 at home, and even if Boston didn't cheat, even if Boston cheated, you weren't going to beat them anyway in 2018. You're still 0-2 in those World Series, and I think you burned out your window to actually win championships, LA Dodgers. You have yourselves to blame for not winning those titles in the 2010s. You shouldn't get either of those championships. I thought that was very hilarious what they did.
NBA.
Lakers just handled the Nets, but it's been a weird. Zion basically broke the internet when he debuted last night.
He bounced that over. His over was 14.5.
He did that in 3 minutes. He legitimately scored 17 in 3 minutes, and was really in a game where the Spurs were absolutely dominating the Pelicans. Zion comes in and basically one man carries the Pelicans back to the lead in the game itself. And then Alvin Gentry took him out of the game because he was on a minutes restriction. And then San Antonio promptly won the game because of this decision that was made. As I'm looking at the end of the Nets Laker game, Bill Clinton was at the game. He actually had a likes exchange with LeBron. Michael Strahan was at the game as well. They had a nice little exchange. But Zion carried the Pelicans. He dropped 22 in his debut. He was absolutely dominant, but ultimately it was the Spurs and LaMarcus Aldridge getting it done and handling business there. So we got the Spurs winning the game. So the All-Star starters were actually named as well tonight. LeBron and Giannis are going to captain their respective teams. And then we got the East starters are going to be Kemba Walker of the Celtics, Trae Young of the Hawks, Pascal Siakam of the Raptors, and Joel Embiid of the Sixers.
Woo!
The West. Yep, and the West. Obviously Embiid's hurt right now, but I would imagine Embiid will be back in the next couple days to a week. And the Sixers need him after getting run out of the building by Toronto last night. In the West, we've got James Harden of the Rockets,
Yeah, we're
Anthony
sexy.
Davis of the Lakers, Kawhi Leonard of the Clippers, and Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks, who absolutely, and Luka was basically second in the voting after LeBron for the starting lineup stuff in the Western Conference. So Luka obviously gets in.
What team is
as
Derrick
well.
Rose
So
on?
those are your starters in the Eastern and Western. The reserves are going to be named next week. Derrick Rose, if he makes, they didn't do the whole squads yet. They did the starters this week. They're gonna do the reserves next week. They'll do the reserves and then who's on what team next week. Like who's gonna be on Team LeBron, who's gonna be on Team Giannis next week. So we're gonna see how that works. So Siakam and Butler barely beat out. Siakam barely beat out Jimmy Butler, and a lot of people like Kyrie or Ben Simmons or Kyle Lowry or Bradley Beal could have beaten out Trae Young, but it just didn't happen there in the Eastern Conference. But yeah, we're gonna see the reserves next week and see who gets the other spots in the All-Star game. So that all happens next Thursday. To answer your other question.
Ooh. Could the Sixers make a trade for Danilo Gallinari work?
They need shooting horribly. If I'm the Sixers, I go out and get some shooting as quickly as I possibly can. Because to me, you're going to need at least one shooter for the Sixers' sake to make a run in the Eastern Conference.
Would you trade Richardson or Horford? I wouldn't trade Horford.
Richardson got hurt last night, didn't he?
Yeah.
Horford's the kind of guy, ironically, as stiff and as washed as he looks right now, Horford's the kind of guy you need in the playoffs. Yeah. The playoffs get more physical. The playoffs get more physical. They get it gets not necessarily bully ball, but really close to it. And Horford's really about that life. So in the playoffs, you kind of need that physicality to deal with people. It's not as open and freewheeling as the regular season is, or at least it shouldn't be. And right now the Sixers are 6th. They're not a good matchup for Toronto. Toronto's got some shooters, and Siakam is emerged as a star, and Van Fleet is emerged as a star as well. That could be a problem. They seem to have the leg up on Boston. They seem to know what they're doing against the Celtics. And Indiana,
I haven't about Robert Covington.
So I think that Indiana could become a problem. Really, Milwaukee is going to easily get the 1 seed. They're not going to be challenged there. Miami on the low is 20-1 at home. That's impressive. They're the only team that's better than Milwaukee at home. Milwaukee's 21-2. Miami's 20-1.
Right.
That's impressive.
And then
the Sixers
NHL
are
Flyers
home too. The Sixers are 20-2 at home, so they're excellent at home. The problem is they gotta get better on the road. Real quick before we get to the NHL, Lakers are 37-9 now, or 36-9 now. They've been holding down the 1 seed for a while. Utah, the Clippers, and Denver are the next 3 teams. As I think that's Dallas and Houston are tied. OKC and San Antonio are 7-8. San Antonio leaps Memphis. I can't believe San Antonio's in the playoffs. The way they looked at times in these playoffs, but in these regular season. But San Antonio's making a run, and the guards are looking good. Aldridge has been very impressive lately, so I'm okay with this. John Morant's been a beast. Absolutely, and Zion's going to put up a fight for Rookie of the Year to me. But ultimately, I think it'll be John Morant that gets Rookie of the Year.
Who made a physical assault allegation against Gritty?
Who's what?
Who made a physical assault allegation against Gritty?
Oh, the fight with Kansas and K-State?
Oh, let's talk about that. That was fucking wild. Before we get to hockey.
I think that's going to be what happens there. I think that's I don't know if that's how it's going to stick.
What the fuck was that? DeSouza grabbed a fucking stool.
He definitely did.
He was gonna use a fucking stool.
That was wild. That whole sequence with the block and then Sosa with the that was nuts. I was not ready for that. I don't think anyone was. So I think they handled the proper suspension out where he got an indefinite, which was turned into 12 games. But yeah, that was nuts. As Kansas beat Kansas State, we knew that was coming. But that fight was that was very, very surprising. I was not ready for that. So NHL stuff, as the All-Star break has effectively started there. We are looking at...
All right, All-Star weekend is this weekend for the NHL.
Yeah, they always do this.
Against the Pro Bowl. Against everything.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep, they always do that. Yeah, the NHL always puts their All-Star weekend against the Pro Bowl and against the Royal Rumble and see where they go. I mean, it's for some people, it's the right weekend to do it. I think it's generally fine for a lot of people. Locally, Flyers beating the Penguins and what was a really good, impressive performance.
3-1.
3-0. Penguins didn't score. Yeah, Penguins did not score in that game. It was, Brian Elliott did a very good job. Flyers' penalty kill has been impressive lately. Their power play's been meh, but their PK has been really good.
Which is
which is a huge deal. Flyers are not quite healthy, but they're fairly close.
And we can make one or two more deals at the trade deadline.
I'm not sure they even have to. I think the whole thing about the Flyers is just get healthy. Especially Carter Hart and Shane Gostisbehere should both be back either next week or the week after. But both
shit.
Soon.
Let's make a run, boys. Let's make a run for the fucking cup.
The Flyers, if they have enough, if healthy, I think the Flyers have enough teams to make a run. I think they have enough pieces to make a run if and when the Flyers are healthy. I think they really do have enough pieces to make a run. They're getting good production from Travis Konechny. JVR starting to put the puck in the back of the net. They're getting some good production from all around, and the defense has played really well in front of Hart or in front of Brian Elliott. So I think the Flyers just have to get healthy. If Flyers can get healthy, they can really make a run here. So right now, the Eastern Conference has really been Washington holding it down in the East for the majority of the year. Flyers are tied for the second wild card with the surprisingly talented Columbus Blue Jackets, and actually they're a point behind Carolina. Carolina got a win too, so Carolina got a W. So the Hurricanes look like they are the 8th seed in the East. Right now, the Flyers would have the 5th or 6th best record, but since the Metro Division is so insanely good, since the Metro is so good, the Flyers would not make the playoffs due to a really, really stacked Metro and a really, really bad Atlantic. Right. That's where the difference would lie here.
Lugs.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good run to the finish. It'll be a good race to the end. I think the Flyers will make it. I think the Flyers, they have enough talent to do so. They have enough coaching to do so. I think the Flyers make it.
Yeah, I think they do.
Obviously, we'll see at the end, but I think the Flyers will get in.
Lugs.
Once they're seeded, we'll see.
Lugs.
Plugs.
Did
you get that?
How they get there, we will see. But I think ultimately, it's going to be a very good race at the end. But the Flyers getting it done. But the Flyers getting in. Washington probably wins the President's Trophy, but I think this is going to be a good race either way.
Plugs.
Twitter.com/BeastMike is where you can find me. I'll obviously be tweeting about the Royal Rumble. I'll obviously be kind of keeping up with that. I'll probably have a screen on the Grammys. I think the Grammys are going to be somewhat entertaining as well. I'll have some eyes on that. And obviously, be keeping track of the other stuff that normally happens. Obviously, there's no football this weekend. Probably keeping track of the other stuff that normally happens. But really, it's Royal Rumble weekend, and the Grammys will be somewhat entertaining. Twitter.com is going to be where you can find me.
DJ D Kooks is where you can find me. I was at the Glorious Sons and Des Rock's concert last night. Fantastic concert. Really good stuff there. And very entertaining show. D Punk 43 is where you can find me on Instagram as well. Follow me on Instagram because you get some very cool photos of me and Shinsuke Nakamura. I know Beast Mike's very jealous of my photo with Shinsuke Nakamura and Kazuchika Okada and Pete Dunne and Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. Is that right, Beast Mike?
All right, we can for everyone.
Yes, those photos live in infamy. Can you hear me? Am I breaking up?
Oh. Why is it going on slow? So, for Beast Mike, this is DJ D Kooks saying so long.